Welcome to this week's Dear Love Talk, the section of the program where you can write to us, send us your questions, and we will take time to answer them. Any question, feel free to ask us, as long as it's not about fixing your broken toaster, but maybe we can fix your broken marriage, your broken relationship. Let's read the first question that came in to the studio today. It says, "Hi Love Talk, I'm engaged to be married and I've lived with my boyfriend for 5 years. We have a child and for the most part we get on well. But what upsets me and causes trouble in our relationship is that sometimes he still has the tendency to behave like a single man. He sometimes goes to parties and doesn't tell me anything about it. Comes back late into the night, and when I tell him this is not acceptable, he tells me I'm paranoid because he wasn't doing anything wrong. What do I do?"
Where's the whip?
Well, the first thing you should do is not get married. You said you're engaged to be married. The first thing you should do is don't get married yet. We have to do the whip, right? I think this one deserves the whip. Shall we do the whip? 3, 2, 1.
That's for you, husband. Well, not husband.
But boyfriend, fiancé.
Yeah.
You know,
come on.
The thing is, look, first of all, we're not saying that he's doing something wrong, because he might not even be doing anything wrong. Maybe he just likes...
What is he doing during the night?
We're going to get there in a second.
I hope so.
Hold on. He might not be doing anything wrong in the sense of being with another woman or being cheating on you. You know, but just the fact that he wants to live this single lifestyle still on the weekends or certain days of the week, that is wrong in itself, because you don't know what is going on in there. And like I said, we're not saying he's doing something very bad, that he's cheating or anything like that, but he's not fulfilling his role of a husband, even though you're not married yet. And as long as there is a question mark in a relationship, and certainly in this relationship it is a serious question mark, we don't advise anybody to take a step of marriage, even though you are almost as if you're married, because you live together, you have a child. But I think you need to solve this problem before you take the step of marriage. And you need to tell him, look, I appreciate the fact that you're engaged to me and we've been together for this long, but I'm not going to move forward unless you decide what you want to do with your life.
I agree 100%. And this question reminds me of someone who came to me once for advice and said, my boyfriend, I find all sorts of pictures of women on his phone, and I asked him about it, and he says, listen, this is a normal thing. This is something boys do. And she actually believed him. And I said to her, darling, no, this is not something someone who is committed, who is mature, does. Okay, so this is ridiculous. I mean, I don't want to go on and on about this. You already get the point.
Let's just say again, we're not saying that he's cheating. There's no pictures of women from what you said. But just the fact, or just the action of him wanting to live this single life should be enough for you to say, look, because imagine when you get married, you're going to have this for the rest of your life, unless something happens. So say, look, I'm not going to commit, I'm not going to get married unless this changes. And if he, you know, there will be men who say, oh, that's good, because then I'm going to have this person with me and I don't have to commit to marriage. But you can't just say that. You have to say, look, I'm not going to commit to marriage unless you change. And also, if you don't change, something's going to give. And that should be the approach you need to take.
Exactly. They need to think the same. If you don't think the same, you're not ready for, you know, further commitment.
That's
if
right.
That makes sense.
The final question today is from Jeff, and it's for you.
Yes, it says, my wife feels the need to constantly talk about our relationship and also to push me to talk even when I don't want to. This really puts me in a bad mood. I am of the opinion that if I have something interesting to say, I will say it. I've told her this numerous times, but she doesn't seem to get the point. What's the solution here? I love her, but I'm tired of this.
This sounds familiar.
That's it. What do you mean?
I think when I used to date with someone...
Oh, come on. We were dating. I needed to talk. I needed to hear.
I used to date someone and we were having lunch, and if I wasn't talking much, she would say, come on, tell me something. What's happening with you? Come on, tell me. It wasn't great.
I never did that. What I used to do is...
Not exactly
if
like
you
that,
go on a date with someone, okay, and you're getting to know the person because you have a life and you want to know if this is worth trying, You actually want to talk about
She's
things.
right. No, she's right.
Thank you. So you don't want me to carry on,
But I was
right?
also right.
No,
Because
you were not.
Because, no, I was right in the sense that you cannot push someone.
Yeah, but we were just getting to know each other.
true.
If you were supposed to be excited about it and you weren't, that really worried me. But then I found out he was very quiet. Anyway, but yes, now the advice is that you should be very patient. I don't know what she's reading. She's probably reading magazines of, you know, women's advice to women who are married and relationship advice. I don't know what kind that says that it's good to communicate and it's good to, you know, talk to your man. But you need to, you know, maybe she's not finding a balance. Women naturally like to talk. We want to know what's going on. Okay, don't ever tell a woman, oh, we'll talk about this later if it's something that really matters to her. You need to make time and talk. So maybe she's overdoing it. Maybe, you know, there are ways you can talk to her in a nicer way. Remember, it takes time to create a habit. It takes time for her to understand that you don't really like that and that there's nothing wrong with that. You're just a quiet kind of person. So be patient. I mean, that's...
And at the same time, I would add that even though, you know, she may be pushing you to talk and, you know, sometimes she may be forcing the issue, but you have to meet her halfway. Even if you are a quiet person, I learned...
I'm so proud of you to say that, to hear you say that.
It's true. I mean, I learned that Elena was sometimes being pushy, but I also learned that she was being pushy because I didn't talk enough. And, you know, you may be quiet, but at the end of the day, she's not married to a wall. You have to talk, you have to communicate. So try to meet her halfway, maybe not go overboard, but if it's important for her to talk, then do so. I'm sure your marriage will be all the better for it. Okay? And tell her as well, look, I will try to talk more, but please do not force the issue because it makes me upset. Honesty is always the best.
Do you know what I was
policy.
thinking? You know what I was thinking? Imagine if we would tell him to start doing something like this. Honey, we need to talk about our relationship. If you were the one always asking her, it would be interesting to see what her reaction would be.
Yes.
If she would have the taste of her own medicine. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think it does.
Yeah, but you know, this is something we're supposing, oh, it would be interesting to know, but don't do it.
Well, if you feel like trying, I don't know.
Well, if you want to send us your questions for us to answer here in the program, do get in touch, questions@lovetalkshow.tv. Until next time, bye-bye.